What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the reasonably ruthless Dr. Disaster. And just so you know, when a company at the last minute decides to delay its half-year financial report and manually halts the trading of its shares, that is not a good sign of things to come.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
And that is just what Ubisoft has done today. And the speculation as to why they did this does not take a whole lot of imagination before you realize that this is a company that is desperately trying not to die off. There is a reason that I have been so closely following the stock price of Ubisoft for a long while now, and especially over the past month, because they have fallen so low, both in terms of their publicly traded value and in terms of their hard assets, that this means that they are not that far from something like bankruptcy. The bad news has just piled up for Ubisoft over the past month with the official formation of their new jointly owned studio alongside Tencent, which now owns all of the IP worth owning. They fired the creative director of the Assassin's Creed franchise. The second director for the Splinter Cell remake has left the company. We learned that they decided to cancel a planned Assassin's Creed project that would have had gamers play in the American Civil War era with a black main character, but because of the backlash to Assassin's Creed Shadows, they cancel it. All of this felt, though, like the tip of the iceberg as far as the bad news that we knew was coming for Ubisoft. And now this has happened, where they canceled their earnings report and are practically begging to have the trading of their public company halted. And why would they do that? Because they know that whatever it is that they are about to do or announce is going to be seen as really bad. And from my perspective, I'm thinking,
I like you begging. Do it again.
this is what happens when a company has convinced itself that they know better than the actual customers as to what people want. This is what happens when a company gets so big that they believe they are untouchable, but it is run by dimwits who are completely out of touch with the people who once bought their products. Frankly, this is what happens when a company decides to make slop like Assassin's Creed Shadows. The shitlibs out there celebrated the fact that the company dove headfirst into the culture war with that game, but all they did was alienate themselves from a large segment of the gaming community. This news today is more proof that Assassin's Creed Shadows was not the major hit that the corporate butt-kissers out there tried to say it was. And for anyone out there who tried to convince not just me, but themselves that Assassin's Creed Shadows was some kind of a major success story, I imagine that you are going to have to suffer through a lot of chuds doing this on social media over the coming days on this subject.
That's how you do an evil laugh.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel. Almost every day I hear from someone who says they didn't believe me when I talked about this phenomenon, but then they noticed that they themselves were unsubbed from the channel. I don't know why it happens, but I do hear it a lot. So check into that and hit the notification bell while you're at it. But let's talk about this Ubisoft situation, because to be clear, whatever it is news that they were going to be saying at their half-year financial report was going to be really bad. We have known for a long time, with the sort of bailout that the company had to receive from Tencent in exchange for 25% of the control of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, we have known that there was going to be a reckoning, a bloodbath at the company, because they are simply too bloated to even come close to justifying. They have 18,000 employees or so working at Ubisoft, and for perspective, that is over 4,000 more than what you see at behemoths like Take-Two Interactive or EA. And EA was just bought out for around $55 billion, whereas Ubisoft could probably be purchased for a song. And it wouldn't even have to be a good song either. If you just hummed the first thing that came to your head, the company is practically yours. But in all seriousness, they have been hovering at a market cap of around $1 billion on the stock market for a week or so now, and there are no games that have been publicly announced coming from Ubisoft that anyone is really excited about at all. The only one that moves the needle, and to be clear, it really only moves that needle because it looks like it's another Assassin's Creed game that is going to wade into culture war territory, but the only game that moves the needle is Assassin's Creed Hexa. That game, which features a literal witch from around 500 years ago that gets trained to be an assassin. It really has the potential to end up being feminist drivel, and considering that it was conceived of under the direction of Mark Alexis Coate, the now former creative director of Assassin's Creed, who was responsible for Shadows and who is now gone, well, that seems like a pretty safe bet that it's going to be woke shit. But anyhow, let's see what the mainstream media types are saying about this move that Ubisoft is delaying their report and asking to have their trading halted. This article here comes from Kotaku, and it is funny to see them have to admit how unusual it is that their pals at Ubisoft are making this move. It says here, usually, Ubisoft is delaying its upcoming games. Sometimes it delays big updates to ones that are already out. I'm not sure I've ever seen it delay its official quarterly earnings report, and certainly not minutes after it was already due to be released. Did someone accidentally delete a spreadsheet, or is the Assassin's Creed publisher getting ready to break some major news? Like every other publicly traded video game company, Ubisoft regularly releases quarterly updates on its financials and takes questions from investors and analysts on an earnings call. The latest round was supposed to go live today, only it didn't. Instead, minutes passed with no update as people prepared to join the conference call that's traditionally helmed by the CEO. Then, Ubisoft released its weirdest emergency press release ever. Ubisoft announces the postponement of the release of its results for the first half of the fiscal year. Ubisoft has requested Euronext to halt trading of its shares and its bonds from the market opening on November 14th until the publication of its first half 2025/2026 results in the coming days. Ubisoft will inform the market of the date on which trading will restart. Unclear why at this point, but could indicate a major announcement related to the company, wrote Nico Partners research director Daniel Ahmad on X. He noted that this could be a prelude to some big acquisition announcement, or it could signal a financial or accounting issue that requires extra time to address before accurate data can be supplied to the public. And let's be clear, the odds of that are pretty damn slim. This is a company that was on such a downward trajectory that we knew damn well that pretty soon something big was coming. They were going to have to fire people, a lot of people. We knew that something like that would happen. or they were going to have to sell off more of their assets, or something. Something was going to have to be done when they announced that the newly formed business entity, which is now called Vantage and is owned by both Ubisoft and Tencent. When that company was formed several months ago, we speculated that one of the things they might try to do is take all of the value of Ubisoft and store it in this brand new business entity like a golden parachute, and then let the rest of it just kinda die off, leaving anyone still invested in larger Ubisoft holding the bag. And now, I don't know for sure that this is happening, but if they attempted to pull something like that off and announce that Vantage was splintering off away from Ubisoft and getting bought out by someone else, well, that wouldn't shock me at all. It would be strange to see an iconic IP like Assassin's Creed suddenly fully under the control of the Chinese, and it would be amusing to watch as these game journalists who love to slobber all over Ubisoft suddenly act like they never liked the franchise. But it is hard to say what exactly is about to happen. The only things that I can say with almost absolute certainty is that it is going to be big, whatever happens, and that it is going to be bad for Ubisoft's future prospects. Freezing stock trading is a drastic step, after all, and would only be done if they were afraid that the stock value was going to plummet. But I'm gonna leave it there. Get your mockery of Ubisoft in before whatever is about to happen happens. Drop that mockery along with whatever your predictions are about why Ubisoft made these moves. Drop all of that into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.